That is pretty awesome. Yeah, let's start with that. Let's get pumped up. That's a good way to get right into the show, man. Play a little bit of Rush, Neil Peart. Hopefully we don't get, this video doesn't get pulled. Or I did actually, knowing that this would not happen, I did reach out to the Rush Instagram page and I asked for permission to use
Are
that
you serious?
track.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Oh,
I
that's
figured,
awesome.
I figured Geddy Lee is, he's a big collector, so I figured, what the hell, he'll probably be cool with it, assuming that they still own the rights to that song.
Right.
For those that don't know, yeah, it's The Spirit of Radio, which is one of their best tracks ever.
Yes, and for those who don't know, Sammy put that together. It's absolutely awesome, and Rush is my favorite band of all time. So that was my Neil Peart face. That'll be hanging in the baseball card room when I get it done. But in commemoration, I wore my Rush shirt.
There you go, man. Yeah.
I'm drinking my Rush beer. We're all things Rush today.
Going decked out all the way. So let's start this off nicely. Welcome to the 11th episode of Cardboard and Cold Ones, where we raise our glasses and cheers to the legends we admire on the cardboard we collect.
Cheers, everybody.
Cheers. And so tonight we have two guests. We're going to be talking about how YouTube has really kind of impacted and inspired a lot of the content creators here. We're going to be showcasing some cards that remind us of other content creators. I mean, this is something that has been done before in other videos, other channels, live streams, but it's always a nice reminder to realize like how far we've all come along on our individual channels and how we've collaborated. And who better to do that with than these two channels, Warren D and CLE, and Eric from the Detroit Collector. Gentlemen, what is up?
What's going on, guys? How we doing? Cheers.
What a way to fire us up, man.
Nice to see you.
That intro was wild.
Yes.
Yeah, it was awesome.
I love
I'm a big Rush fan myself.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just that was my band growing up, and I just have clung on. I still get made fun of for that. Me and a group of my friends, we're 50 now. We get made fun of for that. So that's our band.
Oh, yeah, Ruben Snyder. Hats versus no hats. That is very true for tonight.
Yes, yes.
That could change. You never know what happens here.
Usually I'm wearing a hat because it hides all my gray hair, but I decided to go.
That's what I'm doing, Warren.
Handsome, so I left the hat off.
Let's see who's here tonight. We have a bunch of people coming in, but Andrew, of course. Andrew is always. We can always count on Andrew for being here. Stephen with a PH, man who just loves buying Jackie cards, big ones, only the big cards. Let's see who else we got. Mike from Scoots Collectible. We had him on last week.
Yes, we did.
Jacob Dahl, what's up, Jacob? Let's see. Oh, we got Scott from Stooks Baseball Cards and Curiosities.
He put out a great video today. He got a reveal. Yeah. He got an SGC reveal back. Real cool.
Oh, that's right. I've been meaning to check that out.
Yeah.
The guy whose collection seems endless is Mark. We had him on as well.
Yeah, I need to tip my cap to you, Sammy. That for collectors thing with Mark and Aaron was absolutely fantastic. The scarce versus rare. You guys did an awesome job.
Oh, thank you.
Very cool.
Those two guys. What's that?
Oh, I enjoyed that one. That was good.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I mean, if there's going to be two guys that are going to appear on that, yeah, I was like, yeah, those two guys. Peacemaker Cards, what's up, man? Phil Necro fan, 35.
All right.
You got obviously Ruben is here with the hats versus no hats. Perfect. Peeps got a good house. Oh, and Michael Boat. Yeah, Mike. That's cool, man. I don't think Mike has ever really come into a live stream or mentioned did any comments in the chat. So Mike is actually the guy who runs the Fish Kill show and has a hell of a inventory with a consignment that he's running, and that show is really just doing really well.
Very cool. Now he's one step away from making a channel. First you watch, then you comment, then you make a channel.
Yeah, man. And finally, Orlando is here. So good crowd, man. We got 21 people in, which is awesome. Good to man with the beer. Yes. Let's go, man. Let's do it.
All right. So you want to kick off? You want to kick off a little detail on the topic, Sammy, or what do you?
Yeah. Think? So I mean, we talked. I think we did it briefly in the intro, but we're going to be talking a little bit tonight. We're going to be showing some cards from our collection that remind us of other YouTube content creators It could be a gift that was given to us, or we bought something from somebody, did a trade with somebody. This community is known for really going, above and beyond for helping each other out. So it's really, it's just going to be, this is going to be a live stream that really kind of harnesses that in. And so I wanted to bring Eric, I wanted to bring Warren into this because I figured, these guys, I know, Eric, both you and Warren went to Strongsville. So there was a good crowd there, and Jason as well. So, but yeah, that's going to be the topic for tonight.
All right.
I'd imagine we've all given gifts to some people.
Sure.
I still have to mail a couple out right now. Dave from Legend of the Dugout and Dom are gonna. My gifts are on the slow boat, so. But, all right. Well, who do you want? Why don't you kick it off, Warren? Why don't you show us something? Give us a little background of it.
All right. Well, obviously, how YouTube really changed the way I collect this right here. It's the friendships being made. It's doing live streams. It's more about the friendships for me, and that I always felt that I collected alone. Even though I'd go to card shows and I'd talk to guys, but it's different now. There's more of a connection between collectors. You go to a show, you see guys, or people might recognize you from your channel, and you have conversations, and you get to know them and shake their hands, and then next thing you know, you're exchanging phone numbers and texting each other and busting each other's chops and sharing cards and sending gifts and just phenomenal stuff. But that's really how it's changed for me. It's my collecting has changed just because of who I am and what I want to do and how I want to collect now. But really, it's seeing other guys' collections and them showing off their pride and joy, their great cards, their the joy in their faces when they get something back from SGC or PSA or whoever it is, or a gift from a friend, or most of you guys have seen stuff I get with gifts. I'm like, man, this is too much. I can't accept this. This is insane, but I love it at the same time, and I'm so grateful for the friendships that I've made, because I feel that even though we don't get to see each other face to face all the time, we get to see each other right here, right now, and be able to talk and text and send goofy cards or gifts or whatever online. But so I'm going to start things off showing a couple things, and it's all with you three guys right now.
Perfect.
So Eric, I'm going to start with you. Do you recognize this?
That's Mr. Greenberg.
This is 1949 Indians team action photos.
That's very cool.
Do you have this?
That's awesome.
You have the-
you said I had that?
Yeah.
No, I don't have that.
You do now. It'll be in the middle of the month.
That's very cool.
No,
See, that's
I
wild,
have the complete set. I have the complete set, but I actually have two Dobies and two Hank Greenbergs, so you're getting that one.
Nice.
But also, so I did a little vintage, but this one is another one. So little modern, well, not that modern, but Travis Fryman, but it's the Desert Shield.
Yeah, Desert Shield. Man.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, Desert Shield.
That is very
So
cool.
then, for Sammy, you influenced me to keep buying Willie Mays cards. So I found this little X Factor Stadium Club.
Nice.
I love it. It's shiny. It's a great image of Willie.
Yeah.
Really pretty card. Not expensive, man, but hey, I have a few vintage Willies, but not like you, of course. And every time I see a Christy Mathewson, I think of Sammy. But there's one other thing that I will always think of when I see this, and that's this right here.
Oh yeah, man.
You
Gaylord
gave that
Perry
to me
auto.
at the National this year,
Yeah.
and it was a gift from you, even though it's not Willie or Christy Mathewson. It sits up here on my shelf.
Sweet.
I will always think of it. You took the time out of your day to think of me and bring me this along with that other decal. I thought that was fabulous.
Of course, man.
Now,
Gotta show the love.
oh yeah, baby. Oh yeah. Almost. And then we can move on to somebody else, because we got a lot of cards to show and beer to drink and everything else. So
Yeah.
Jason, I got this one. Now, so this is from the Ken Burns set. It's Michael Jordan
That is awesome.
in a Barons uniform. You love Michael Jordan. I only collect Jordan in baseball uniforms. Do you have that? You ever see that card, Jason?
I have not seen that. That is the first time
It's coming your way. So
that is crazy. You're
that's
nuts.
what it's about, man. So don't fret. You know, I have 3 sets of these.
Okay, yeah,
But-
because you already gifted half of what I'm showing. That reminds me of you are gifts you sent me. So
And that's not, you know, that's not why I do it, man. Hey, if I have it, I'd rather go to somebody who enjoys it. If I'm not married to it, I'd rather somebody else enjoy it. And,
Right.
you know, the stuff that I sent Eric, and a lot of that stuff wasn't worth a hill of beans, but there was just cards that I knew maybe he didn't have because it's some of it's like really that overproduced era and
sure.
junk mix or whatever you want to call it is fine. But to me, that's what this is all about here. Sharing together. And I don't ever expect anything back. And I know most of the guys that I deal with are the exact same way. And to me, that's what it's all about. So, all right.
No,
One more thing for Jason, I forgot. Since I did that one, since you're the White Sox guy, I will always think of you when I see this card.
that is a great card,
It's
isn't
my
it?
favorite. It's my favorite 90 leaf card. It's Frank
Yeah.
Thomas.
And it's his best rookie. It's his best
Mhm.
rookie out of all of them.
So, all right, somebody else's turn, guys.
Awesome.
I'm gonna drink my blueberry mead. So,
Attaboy. Eric, you're up. Let the guests go.
So I don't even know how to top that. We got Santa Warren here.
Yeah, Warren, man. Christmas come early in Cleveland.
Yeah, but just to touch on like what Warren said, a lot of it is, you know, the exact. I'm sorry if you hear my dog in the background.
Oh, you're good.
I have a hound dog and my wife's home, so he gets excited when she comes home and everything. But I like when I started collecting and everything. I was very isolated as well. I collected by myself. I didn't, you know, really have a group or a crew that I collected with. And so coming onto YouTube, when I first started coming onto YouTube, I started actually ripping product because that's how I thought like it was like the big thing at the time. I thought I would enjoy it and everything. But then I kind of transitioned over throughout the years to more my style, which was collecting vintage. And by doing that, I found a lot of like your guys' channels, and I started to connect a lot more with people who were very like-minded. And like just the community that you have with this it's absolutely incredible. And I'll give Santa Warren an example. You know, Warren and I never met in person before. But you know, one day he just out of the blue, he messages me. He says, "Hey, Eric, I got some Detroit cards. I was thinking about you, man. I want to send it your way." And it's like that's just an incredible gesture to do to not like
thanks, man.
not meet someone like face to face and just be like, "Hey, I was thinking of you, man. Let me send some cards your way." So, so we got like the K line.
66 K line, very cool.
Yeah, that's what Warren sent over. He sent over a Gibson,
Oh wow.
Verlander.
Is that 85? 85, right?
The Gibson, this one?
Oh no, the Verlander.
Oh, no,
I'm sorry,
this
not
is
85.
2005?
2008.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
It's like an archive, right, of the 85.
Yeah. He sent this cool pin over.
Warren has got everything, and he just ships it out everywhere.
Yeah, it seems like that. But it just, I mean, that's what this community does. And I know, like, when I go to these shows, like, a lot of times when I'm looking for stuff that I want, but I'm also, like, kind of, like, looking for, like, other stuff for other people as well. So, like Warren, I've been, like, looking out for him. I actually got Warren something that's going to be coming his way. I got something for you too, Jason.
Oh, jeez.
But you know, you and I were talking about like the Chicago Spectacular in November. That's when I was going to get handed to you. Sammy, I'm always looking out for like Tom Seaver for you.
Appreciate it,
So
man.
so like I'm always like kind of looking out, for cards that I think like this community would, these channels would enjoy and everything. I would just pick it up and just send it to them because that just to let them know that I was thinking about them and everything, and I enjoy what they're doing, and I appreciate their friendship.
That's awesome. That's
Great,
awesome.
man. That's fantastic.
Now,
Yes,
Eric,
David,
you've been
Go ahead.
you've been on YouTube longer than me and Warren, have you not? You've been on because I was following you before I had a channel. How long have you been on?
So I've been on 3 years,
Yeah.
but I don't, I like I'm not very I don't post like a lot of videos. I kind of do these things where like I buy like stuff in like over time, and then I'll do like one grand video where I show off everything.
Right.
And that's kind of like I've kind of been like thinking and questioning, and maybe you guys can like help answer the question. Like when I do a video, is it better to do a video where you recap like over the last few months, or would you guys rather see like a video where like a short 2-minute video of a pickup and some stories behind it? Like what do you guys like about that? Because
Well,
I don't mind. Like I would like to put out more videos and everything. I just don't really know what people would like to see.
Well, it cracks me up because I watched your last video where you were asking that question and you were kind of posing that to everybody. And my answer to that is only because I'm impatient. So basically, if I buy 3 cards, I won't wait to gather up more. I just do a video. I just do a video. And if it's and I find that sometimes if you're looking to post more content and you're buying 3 cards a week or 2 cards a week, that's enough to put a video out there. I think I did one not too long ago, and it was just I went to a flea market with my wife. We were away for the weekend and craft show, and I picked up 3 cards. Nothing big, but I'm excited to show it. So to me, it seems like those short form videos, you get that content out there, and I don't know. I'm small. I'm a small channel, but I find that builds my channel slowly. And that's not what I'm looking to do. I'm more just anxious to get it out there and show people what I got. That's part of this community as well. So.
Yeah, and I love that video you had, the pickups you made.
Yeah,
so I can see that. Yeah.
Who's up now, Sammy? You?
Sure.
Yeah, go for it.
Just want to mention about the question about making videos. I think there's like Orlando made a good point. It says, I just do a video but don't buy a lot. So I think to only make videos based on pickups alone, I mean, you don't want to put pressure on yourself to have to buy something in order to show it. I mean, not to say that's the focus, obviously. I mean, it's not to say that's your reason to do it, but I think a lot of it is like trial and error. So you can try new things and see what lands and what doesn't, and go from there. I'll start actually with the most recent thing I got was from Vintage Sports Flips, Keith. He has a great channel. Speaking of flea markets, he goes to flea markets, goes to garage sales, and really just makes a killing. He was also set up at the National, had his own booth. He was selling mostly like pennants and vintage shirts and hats that are sports themed. And I know that's like 90s stuff is really big right now, so that's a huge thing. But we had him on the For Collectors, I think, live stream, and he out of just the goodness of his heart sent me some really cool stuff. One of which is I'm drinking from the glass right now. He sent me a small little pint glass, the New York Mets.
Very cool.
Who are making a huge run right now. They have to win tonight to maintain a 2-game lead over the Braves. I'm sorry, Jake, from Legends Never Die. And he sent me some cool stickers. I put one on my water bottle. The vintage, I can't really say. You can sort of see Vintage Sports Flips. He's going to be at the Philly show tomorrow, so I hope to run into him. And he actually does his own thing that's beer related, Rips and Brews. He gave me a sticker, so I'll put this on my water bottle, but I wanted to show it off first. And he also sent me a 1972 in action Tom Seaver. Seaver either looks like he's in the middle of a laughing fest or just completely in disbelief of something.
That's in good shape too. That 72 looks good.
Yeah, man, it looks great. And he wrote probably too, in regards to the glass, he wrote probably too small for cardboard and cold ones. Unfortunately, no, sir. I can, as long as there's beer in here, it doesn't matter. So
you can always refill. You can
exactly.
always refill.
Oh, Andrew's filling me in on the play at 9-3. That is awesome. Because last I saw it was 2-2, so that's good, man. They've just been hitting the crap out of the ball. And that's
little play-by-play.
And that Acuna's brother, man, he is killing it. I think he's gonna be good. He's gonna be great. He's gonna be a great player. He can replace McNeil. McNeil's killing. Anyway, that's my first round of showcasing. So I don't think Keith is here, but if he does watch this, thank you, Keith. I appreciate it, man. It was a really good gesture, and hopefully I'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah, he does great stuff. He's got a live on Wednesdays, I think. Is his live Wednesdays? He does a live Wednesdays, I believe.
Yeah, he does it with a buddy of his, I think.
Yeah, and I know Mark's on it quite a bit. Mark Coyle's on it. I'll chat with him a little bit.
I can pretty much almost reach around the entire glass. So.
That's actually a shot glass. That's actually a shot glass.
Well, you're a lot taller than me anyway, Sims. But now I don't want you to feel bad. I was going to reach out to you after this. I have some stuff that's going to come your way as well. So.
Okay. Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
You should have made him feel bad, Warren.
You can make me feel bad. It's okay.
No, that's not my intent. It's just a matter of I have so much stuff that I got. I'd rather go to a good home, and I don't even have all the stuff I used to have.
Yeah.
Like I think I told Sammy one time I panic sold during COVID when that started. I sold so much vintage, and I regret it every day of my life. But what are you going to do?
Yeah, right. You got a lifetime to get it back. So
that's right.
It's what it is.
You don't need any more. You know what?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
That was such a crazy time too. Is like you had no one knew what the future held. So you did what was right.
Yeah. That was my jumping back in period. Yeah. I'm the proverbial collected as a kid. Took a break, came back into my 20s, took a break, and that was the nothing to do. So you start going through everything. And, once I kicked in on the YouTube and became a lurker, I said, all right, there's no going back. And then I was getting pressure back to YouTube itself or what it means to you. So I subscribed to a bunch of channels. Some of my first channels was Sammy's channel was one of them. Obviously, Mike Baseball Collector. He's always a first for most people. And then I linked into Alex Bowman 53, and once I figured out what that Sunday Live was, it was like I had to be on that, And for the first 3 or 4 Sundays, I didn't say a word, and then I finally mustered up the courage to make a comment, and then I remember commenting and him putting it on the screen. I said I took a picture of him. I'm like, hey, look, they cut. I showed it to my wife. I'm like, hey, they, I didn't know anything about YouTube. I'm like, look, they put my comment on screen. Well, they put a lot of them on, but back then I'm like, that's pretty cool. And I had tossed around doing a channel, and he started pressuring me. Like, he Alex is good at that. Like when he's, there are certain people that were doing card rooms. That's why I don't bring up my card room on his channel, because I'm so slow getting this card room together. He'd be pounding me to get this thing done. So he was pounding me to start a channel, and I finally pulled the trigger. And I know Warren, my correlation to Warren, you and I started almost at the exact same time. So the running joke between you and I is brother from another mother, because we did everything like almost at the exact same. I started on Christmas Day was my very first video. That's awesome. I know you might have been a week earlier. January 7th. All right, so we're 6 days apart, 7 days apart, whatever the case may be. And then I jumped on your channel right away. I'm like, all right, new guy, perfect. And I find there are a lot of people right now with channels who started in that time period. There's a ton that I'm seeing. So, but yeah, I guess I'll get to the card. So obviously, I kind of did what Warren did. This was a gift from Warren, and it's a 3D card, which is fantastic, of Comiskey, and I absolutely love this thing. And I took it out of the top loader that Warren gave me. I'm going to actually put it in a one touch, and then when I finally get this room done, it's going to sit on a bookshelf on my one touch, in the one touch, because I love that thing. And then I don't know, Warren, 2 weeks ago, maybe not even. Warren
That's
shoots me a
cool.
text. He said, "Hey, do you have this?" I said, "Yeah, I have it, but I don't have it graded." He's like, "Well, this is yours."
Oh, that's
So
sick.
sends
Yeah,
me a
that's
Jordan
awesome.
card, and you know, I keep thinking to myself, we did a video not too long ago about player collectors and had Matt the card story on, and I said, I'm not a player collector, guys, so this is your world. And he's like, well, you're a Jordan collector, aren't you? I said, yeah, I've got about 400 Jordan cards. He's like, well, that's a player collector. I'm like, I guess so. I guess so. So I figured I'd show those for Warren. Eric and I had just officially met, although we've talked in chats. He's commented on videos. He actually commented on one of my videos that he enjoyed this card. So I figured I would show this. It's my Riley Green Future
Beauty.
Stars Topps Chrome rookie. And
That's my
I've got
Tiger.
I've got a bunch, and I should have broke out some K-Line. I'm like, what can I break out? Because I don't have any older vintage Tiger stuff. Like, I need to get some Greenberg. I need to get a bunch of stuff. But I'm like, what can I show? And I'm like, he made a comment on this, so I figured I'd show that. And then Sammy, I buy a lot from Sammy, and I always show it. So I figured I would stray away from that. And obviously, this card, everybody thinks of Sammy when they see this card. So I figured I'd show mine. Mine's a 4, but I had to show that. And then what was gifted to me from Sammy, one of the gifts at the National, pack of NBA hoops, right? 1990. But the awesome thing about this, and you can see it if you zoom in, or if I flatten it out a little bit, the first card on top is the Michael Jordan All-Star card.
Yep.
So I thought that was cool as heck, and he pointed it out to me. So I can't open this now. I have the card, right? So I can never open
It's a 10. It's a 10.
It's a 10. Yeah, you know, that's $400. What am I doing? I gotta catch that in. So I figured I'd show 3 that involved you guys, and then next round we'll start to get involved with others. But the reality is, and I've said it time and time again on this live stream, number one for YouTube, why I did this was for the community. I saw everybody having such a good time that I clicked in. My secondary reason behind it is I've learned so much since I've been, before I even started the channel, watching for probably 6 to 8 months and just learning. You watch guys like Mangini, and you watch guys like Rick, Vintage Oddball Cards, and and everybody. I mean, I dabbled in vintage prior to diving in right before I started my channel. So, even knowing the sets, I learned that in like weeks upon watching YouTube. So learning was as important to me as building the community. And, the running joke was I was on every live for a while there and everybody's channel. And that was because I'm having fun doing it. Right? I'm having a blast. That's what I like. It's fun for me.
This is why we do it, man.
Right, exactly. So
sharing beers,
Yeah.
looking at cards, and hanging with friends.
Nothing's better than when we get together at a show, and it increases more and more. So I met everybody for the first time, and I missed you, Eric, at Strongsville. So I met a bunch
I was there
of people.
for like a very short time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I was gonna say I didn't even know you were there when Sammy had mentioned it. I missed you at you were at the meetup?
No, I wasn't at the meetup. I came the day afterwards.
Okay, maybe that's why then. Okay. So I mean I met a good portion of people there. I met some people at the National prior before I had a channel.
Mm-hmm.
So then that kind of settled me in meeting others. And then by the time this National came around, I got stuck in the frat house with 11 other YouTube content creators, which is absolutely awesome. It was a blast. And got to get real close with a bunch of guys there and just had an awesome time. Since then, I visited Chris from Missouri and Billy Ballgame in their hometown. I've gone to card shows with Vintage Steve and Mitchell, White Sox card and fan collector. If you come to Chicago, Eric, for the Sports Spectacular, I guarantee you, I'll drag Steve if I can and drag Mitchell out there, and we'll have all of us out there just having a good time. It's a lot of fun.
That'd be great. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, I'm done jabbering. Warren, go ahead. I jabbered.
More cards, guys. So, in thinking about doing this too is, there's really 4 guys that really got me doing this too. So, and one of the first ones is my man Billy Pyle over at the Card Pile. And guys, if you don't know his channel, if you watch my channel, you've probably seen his too. But Billy's we just connected texting and messaging and joined a Facebook group and all that stuff together. And Now we call each other every once in a while or say, like I said, hey, happy birthday, effer, the other day when it was his birthday. So he's a huge Bill Buckner fan. So I always think of him when I see this Bill Buckner rookie.
That's great. That's very cool.
So I have to mention, because I wouldn't be doing this if it weren't for him and the next couple guys that I'm going to mention. So if you guys don't know, I really got my start on YouTube on For Collectors. Theo had did a card room tour, so I messaged them in the chat or whatever, and I said, "Hey man, I got a card room. I want to show off my cards." And then next thing you know, they messaged me, "Hey, shoot me an email," and da da da, and the rest is history. And if you go back and look at it, I am shaking like this, man. I was on like massive steroids, trying to hold stuff, and I'm like shaking. I'm like, no, man, I don't have DTs or anything. It's just I was sick as a dog that week. So this is actually card's going to represent two things. So Theo, because he said, Warren, you got to do a channel, man. You got great stuff. Do a channel. And I said, I was thinking about it. So this is the 1972 Roberto Clemente club, but this is the Harmony Dairy version. The original one, it's called Daily Juice. The Harmony Dairy is a lot more hard to come by.
Okay.
But that makes me think of Theo, but it also makes me think of another guy who left a couple comments on that same video, and it was Lou Rock TV. He was warned, you got to do a channel, bro. Homie, you got to do a channel. And it just kind of helped push me over that edge. And then the next guy, because he's a big Dale Murphy guy, and he loves Dale Murphy rookie card, is John 3D80's kid.
Yeah.
So I just had to make sure I mentioned those guys in there. I'm not just name dropping, because those guys actually mean something, and they're a reason I do this stuff right here. And now we're doing.
The point of this video is to name drop. That's the point of this video. So drop them all you need to. And Sammy and I, we had a conversation. I don't know on one of the lives, Sammy. They all blend together, but I believe you and I were saying there's probably no one who's done more for newer channels and people starting than Orlando. And Orlando truly has. He just supports everybody. He put a chat out there that I met him at the National. I was one of his viewers, and he encouraged me as well. And so he's part of my start. But John, 3D80's kid, is another guy who just does a tremendous amount for everybody. And it's not, I don't want to blow smoke. It's, we're all community. We all try to help each other out, but those guys really go above and beyond. I mean, John is constantly shouting out. Everything involved with his channel is usually trying to grow younger and newer channels, and I think that's awesome. He puts a ton of work into it, so he does need those props.
Well said, Ruben. Well said.
Yeah, he kind of serves as the liaison for newcomers.
Yes, absolutely.
Cool, man.
All righty, Eric, what do we got cooking?
So I try to, well, I don't try, I do. I keep everything, like if someone sends me something, I keep it, and I have it in my own little, keep it in my own special place and everything. So I did like a VR a while back where I wanted to see some like oversized cards, and I ran the VR, and I just spin the wheel, and the winner was Scott Reindeer Studios. So I reached out to Scott and I said, hey, can I get your address, send this over? And he's like, can you send this to Stuke, because this belongs with Stuke. This is more Stuke style and everything. I'm like, yeah, absolutely. I'll send it to Scott. So I sent it over to Scott, and then the year moves on, and it's around the holidays, and I want to show what the very first thing I got from YouTube. I got a Christmas card from Scott Reindeer Studios, and it's not a card or anything. He did send these cards also with the K line in there,
right?
And the Roger Maris.
Those are awesome.
But the card, a Christmas card with a personalized note from Scott, that meant so much to me. and same situation. I haven't met Scott. At that time I didn't meet Scott in person at the moment, and we just connected on YouTube and everything, and commented back and forth on each other's channels, and just to send a Christmas card to me and say, hey, I'm thinking of you. I wish you and your family happy holidays. That just meant so much to me. So gestures like that is what this community does, and it's a real special thing.
Absolutely. And another guy who's like that, and I don't want to give Scott too much props because I like busting his chops, although he is an awesome guy. He's fantastic, but we rib each other constantly, and he is the best. Brad is another guy. I met him for the first time at the National, mainly a football collector, but just, constantly sending things out to people. He's like Warren. He's just shipping stuff out and sending it out. And I did a football video, and you guys are all vintage guys, so typically when you do a football video or a basketball video, those are your slower videos when you're known for vintage. And his first comment was, it's nice to finally see some football. So I thought that was awesome. I'm like, yeah, attaboy, Brad. So yeah, he gets a shout out as well. I didn't bring a card, but I didn't mean to roll you over, Sammy. You can do your thing now. You're up.
Well, we have a Cardboard and Cold Ones tradition that when a certain person shows up, we have to start the whole thing over. And so
play that intro again?
Absolutely. Yeah. We're going to play the intro again. So, of course, Greg is here. I tried to put something together just for Greg, but I ran out of time. So, everybody, hold on to your hats. Welcome to Cardboard and Cold Ones. We are just starting fresh. This is and whenever Greg shows up, we reset, we start over, and of course, Jason pulls out the Neil Peart. What is that? Rolling Stone magazine.
That is the Prague
magazine.
And
Prague magazine.
Yeah,
world's greatest drummer next to Danny Carey. But
Danny Carey learned his chops from Neil, and I love Danny Carey. But Danny Carey's gotten all of his chops from Neil. Actually, they've talked about replacing Neil, which will never happen, and he's one of the first names that comes up, for the record.
Anyway, but that was just So there's three people that get this privilege. Greg is one of them. Mookie's the other, and then finally Billy Ballgame.
Because he's late to everything.
I swear to God, if those other two show up, I will play that intro again. It's something that will happen.
Hey, that fires me up every time. So play as much as you want.
I'm worried though that if I don't think they're going to see my message, the Rush Instagram page. So I think this video might get pulled, but I hope not.
Yeah, if it gets pulled at some point in time, we'll figure it out.
It was worth it. It was worth every second.
I'm sorry, go ahead, Warren.
I said it could have been at a better time because I had to refill. I'm 250 today, right? So I got my Labatt Ice, and then I went a little highbrow, like I said, and I got my blueberry mead that I dry hopped with chamomile and hops that I grew. So I told these guys before the show came on, but I had to make sure I spread that out too.
Do you brew your own beer?
I do. I brew my own beer, make my own wine, mead, you name it.
Oh wow, that's awesome.
I think Warren was on an episode of Moonshiners. He was like in the hills of Appalachia, and he had a still going in the whole nine.
I even make hard seltzer too.
Wow.
I can make 4 gallons for the price of a case.
Wow, that's craziness.
Yep.
All right, so unfortunately with this, I kind of had to scramble and put together stuff to kind of showcase since I had very limited time because of work and everything. But I did find these 3 things. Since we're gifting each other things, I figured I'd jump on the bandwagon. So, so for Warren, this is all from the same set. So each of you are getting a card from the set. I don't know if you have this, Warren, or not, but this is the Nap Lajoie decollage oil painting. This is from the what's her name? Hold on. The Renata Galasso 1984 art card series.
I do not have that, and you don't have to.
Aren't those awesome though? Those are awesome.
Pretty.
So this is coming your way
And it's so beautiful. I can't help it.
for Jason. I might just we'll tie this in with the purchases of the Joker White.
I'm on layaway with Sammy right now.
You get the Charles Comiskey.
No, I'll buy. Just tell me what it costs. You don't.
No, just throw it in there, man. Throw it in there. And for Eric, you get the Ty Cobb, man.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
Those are pretty.
Those
are pretty.
Those are, man.
It's a fun thing, man. There's only 10,000 of these, apparently, because it says that it's this is 10,000 numbered set, so there's only 10,000 Ty Cobbs.
I remember when 10,000 was a low number.
Right?
I've seen that set, but never have had any of their cards. That set.
That was actually something that was given to me by one of the guys earlier in the chat. The guy that runs the Fish Kill show, he gave it to me, which is really generous. And I'm like, I'm gonna give these out.
Yeah, but I'm buying a few off of you one night.
All right, well, you get the Comiskey for free, and we'll talk about the other ones.
Yeah, because I want to. There's a couple that you showed. I'm like, I want that.
Yeah. All right, so I got 4 things to show for 4 different content creators. One of which is you, Jason. This is the card you gave me at the National, the 1977.
Yep.
Seaver and Ryan strikeout leaders.
Yeah, that was when I was just lurking on you. I didn't have a channel. I was just lurking.
Yeah, man. So you got that. This one's kind of like all right. So I'm currently using it to hold pens and such right now, but eventually I will switch over to having it be a beer. This is Mookie gave this to me. It's the Nolan Ryan McDonald's glass.
That's awesome. What year was that?
Let's see. It says Topps. Well, I'm sorry. They're showing the Topps original. Yeah, 69. This is probably from the 1993.
I'm gonna look those up. I'm sure there was just more than the Nolan.
There's a bunch. There's like Brooks Robinson. There's a bunch.
Okay.
And then this is also a well, I bust Mookie's chops, but it's really my screw up. I paid $10 for this. This is the Dell stamp, and it's laminated, so you can't take it out. I thought, I got $10 to throw around. Why not just get this thing? And I'm like, wait a minute. But Mookie, he's like, we were walking on the Garfield show on the floor, and he says, "Oh, that looks pretty cool." And I buy it, and then we both kind of laughed about it because, the lamination kind of ruined it. But I did find one at the National for like $5 that wasn't laminated. This was a gift from Dom Steven Sports Cards. I don't know if he's still here. This is a cool looking stamp from the 70s. With Willie Mays and a Japanese player. I'm calling it the baseball friendship stamp set because that's what it says. It's a cool little piece. I've never seen it before, so that's really cool.
I like it.
And finally, this is from Pastor Craig. He gave this to me at the Strongsville show. Someone was a huge Seaver fan and put the decal on top of the base card, and like that is pretty sweet.
It is.
That actually looks kind of cool.
It does, yeah. So, and then I think on the back there's a Christy Mathewson card as well. So can't go wrong with that.
Awesome.
Oh, that's awesome stuff. That is fantastic. Who's up? Me?
I think so. Let me.
I will show this. I've shown this card, I think, on this live. I don't even remember anymore. This card reminds me of several people. And I absolutely love it. So the autographed 1955 Bowman Mini Minoso. This was gifted to me by Chris from Missouri when I went to go visit him and Billy. Just crazy. I mean, and this wasn't the only gift. I did a video on it. If you get a chance, go back and check it out. Just the most generous guy in the world. He knows I love the White Sox. He knows I'm a Mini fan. What made this so perfect is, and I told him when he gave it to me, I said, "You don't even know what this means." So we did the channels did a swap, Bowman 53 and 4 collectors, and they swapped, and we were doing an episode of Ugly Cards, and it was me, Alex, Theo, and Scott, Reindeer Studios, and Scott kept picking White Sox cards, and he picked this card, and he said, I find this card ugly, and I know Alex has this card and loves it. I love it. And I said, how can you not like that card, Scott? And his thing was, bunting cards are dumb. So I thought that was just a perfect line from him every time. Now he's always related to this card now in the hobby. I think some people know that this is like the Scott card. So it reminds me of Scott as well. And then also reminds me of my good buddy Orlando, because he's a Mini fan. Mini's from Cuba, Orlando's of Cuban descent. And so I think that's perfect. And I'll tie in what Sammy put on the intro. This is my 49 leaf premium of Ed Walsh that I bought prior to the National from my good friend Orlando. And I give everybody their props, but the props that I give most to are Orlando, Sammy, and Alex. Those are the three that have really taken me in this community and showed me the ropes, and just I've had an absolute blast, and everything has grown because of those three guys. So I gotta give my props to Orlando right out the chute. So those are the two I'll show now, and I got plenty more. So.
Nice. I got a Leafs premium in the pipeline.
Yeah, I know you do, and I know what that's involved with. That was fun. I actually watched it. So
yeah,
I watched
those Leaf premiums, man, they hit hard.
They're awesome. They're absolutely awesome.
Crazy, man. So yeah, I got it's almost my bedtime.
Yeah.
Now I'm in no hurry. I can make it. Tomorrow's Friday. We all know what we call Friday. F off Friday. So.
Yeah, that's right.
All right. So, of course, everybody's already seen the video from my pickup at the National. But what this card means to me is, one, it was a lifelong goal. But a friend in high school that I haven't seen in 35 years there, to have Brian Hodges 1455 there. And if you want, most of you guys watch my video, is the 58 Maris rookie.
Yeah, awesome card.
I'm looking at it. And then Picker Jim whispers in my ear. He's like, Warren, buy the effing card. He goes, you know you're not going to regret it. Buy the effing card. So I said, I need a few minutes, Jim. I got to think about it. I walked away. It didn't take 5 minutes. I'm like, Brian, I'm buying that effing card. So I would think of those two guys every time I look at that card. Plus, it's just a beautiful, beautiful 4.5. I look at it every single day of my life. And
it's an awesome card. Awesome card.
So another one, I had a pleasant surprise last night with Scott Stukes, Baseball Cards and Curiosities. So whenever I see any exhibit card, I think of him.
Yep.
I know he's the go-to. So I'm sitting down here and I forget what I was doing. And I was on IG, and next thing I know, I get a video call from Scott. I'm like, Scott and I never talked ever in my life, except through chats and whatnot.
Right.
Or email here and there. I'm like, and we talked for like 20 minutes. It was fantastic. So there's Dobie, just a beautiful one. These are more of the 46 to whatever year. They're so hard. And there's Boudreaux. I just love those images. I love those. So I will always think of Scott when those come through. And because we can never say Mookie's name enough. You know what I'm saying? So every time I see anything Mets.
He literally just showed up.
Did he really?
I'm gonna wait. I'll wait till you finish, Warren, before we restart again.
All right, I'll make it quick. Then obviously,
anyway,
from Reindeer Studios gives me this. When we went to a ball game, and I got to visit his studio and see his house, and we went to a card shop together. And he hands me this. He goes, "Everybody needs an Eddie Wakis in their collection." So I cherish this card. I look at it every single day. All right, one more thing, and then we'll move on because we got lots of stuff to show. So Drew over at Clean Cheap Shots, on one of my videos, he goes, Warren, you know what I didn't notice at the National? He goes, I don't see enough Mel Harder cards. And I'm like, you know what? You're right. Or autograph items. And, you know, his numbers, Mel Harder's numbers were retired by the Indians/Guardians. They will always be the Tribe guys. Anyway, so he influenced me. I said, you know what? I got to find a Mel Harder because I didn't own one. So this is a 1934 National Chickle.
Yeah, National Chickle. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, it said in the eBay listing, it said it was the fine, but this is not the fine. It's the, and if I'm wrong, guys, please let me know. But it's not the fine script. This is the wider stuff. But it's still a great image. I love that hat. So yeah, Drew, Clean Cheap Shots inspired me to buy that. So whenever I see anything Mel Harder, I'll think of Drew.
That's similar to the Gaudy wide pens, is what it looks like. It's similar to those. Yeah, I think the wide pens are bigger. Actually, I'm looking to buy one. I wanted to reach out to Mangini. I got a question before I buy it, so I need to reach out to him.
Well, because Mookie has arrived, we are 2 for 3 in our quest to getting all 3 guys in this live stream in the chat. So without further ado, Mookie, this is for you. All right.
There you go, Mook.
Starting fresh, man. Starting fresh. Welcome to Cardboard Cold Ones. This is number 2 out of 3 start, man. I always look for, and it just gives me an excuse to play that intro, man.
The best part is we don't need to fake it. You just run the intro every time now, so that works out well.
Mookie's like, we're at the West Side Highway fender bender. Hell yeah. As long as you're okay. As long as you're okay. Never gets old. All right, so I'll just mention, welcome to the 11th episode of Cardboard Cold Ones, where we raise our glasses and cheers to the legends we admire on the cardboard we collect. Cheers, everybody.
Hello.
We are 2 for 3. We were just waiting for Billy Ballgame to show up. Maybe he will, maybe he won't. You never know. But not to distract us any further, I believe Eric was up to
Eric is up
in the rotation.
Biggie.
Yeah, so I'm gonna, one of the great things about YouTube is the inspiration you get from seeing these guys and gals who, have been collecting their whole lives, or they're just so passionate of what they do and what they want to collect. And Warren, you already stole my thunder, but I was going to mention Stu, because Scott he's like a Wikipedia of knowledge, and he just has such an awesome collection. And every time he shows an exhibit car, I get so excited, because I know how hard he's trying to complete that set and everything. And there's some like crazy rare cards in that collection, but if anyone can do it, Scott can do it. So, whenever I see these exhibits cards, I always think of Scott. So I got like 2 here that I always think of. They're pretty old. They're older ones. I got a sorry for the glare, 21 Jesse Haynes exhibit.
Oh, wow. That's nice.
Beautiful.
And I got the 1921 Bucky Harris.
Yeah, that's a cool photo.
That is pretty nice.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man.
So I always think of Scott when I see these exhibits. And then I want to give a shout out to, I call him the Godfather, because I feel like he's the guy that most of us started YouTube after watching. He was the guy who kind of like, he's the first channel everyone kind of saw, and you constantly watch his videos. And it's Mike Baseball Collector.
Yeah,
he always inspires me. You know, just with, you know, his collection and like just his thoughts on the hobby and his thoughts on how to go about doing things and everything. And he was like I said, when I first got into YouTube, I got into like ripping product because when I first got into YouTube, that was like the main thing in YouTube. That's the only thing that popped up on my feed. That's what everyone was doing. It was the hot topic of the year. So I thought that's what like was the only like kind of content that was on YouTube. And then like Mike's was like the first channel, vintage channel that I saw. And I subscribed to him right away. And I'm like, this is amazing. There's actually like a community here that collects vintage. So that kind of, you know, inspired me to go back to the vintage route. But he did like an awesome video like a few weeks ago where he has like on-card autos of like Hall of Famers and everything. And I don't have any Hall of Famers. And to be honest with you, I never really did on-card autos because back in the, you know, well, a lot of people say that's, you know, it's been frowned upon and everything. You would never get an autograph on like a rookie card or whatever. It devalues it or whatever. But you know, that has changed. And like just seeing like his collection and everything and seeing a lot of other content creators seeing these on-card autos, you know, really inspires me to like kind of go that route. So I've been just chipping away at like some Detroit Tigers. So I got like they come sign autographs. So I got like a Mickey Lolich here.
Oh,
that's
sweet.
cool.
And I got like Big Willie Horton.
Oh, that's pretty nice. That is nice.
Yeah, like Mickey Stanley. Sorry for the clip. And like Scotty Earl.
Right on.
Oh, yeah, quite a bit.
I never collected this way, but like it was just seeing Mike do it and see other guys do it, and I'm like, why don't I do that? It's like it's really cool seeing the players and having them their cards and everything. So Scott and Mike really inspired me a lot.
Great, man.
Great channels. Absolutely great channels.
So in terms of cards, I don't, but I have a number of autographs from Willie Horton. He's a pretty avid signer here. He comes around quite often, and he's like super cheap. He's like $10 for an autograph or something, like crazy cheap. So I do have a lot of stuff from Willie Horton on in regards to autographs.
Oh, that's cool. That's very cool.
Got me
Hey,
thinking.
so-
Actually, yeah. Go ahead, Warren.
No, I was just saying, hey, great stuff, man.
Thanks.
It's funny. It's funny you show those cards because I was thinking when I go to the Philly show tomorrow, I was gonna go up to a couple of people that are either content creators or dealers that are well known to the content world, and like ask and like a rapid fire ask them. All right, give me another player named Willie that's not Willie Mays, and just see what they come up with. Give me another player that's the name Mickey that's not Mantle. You know, just kind of go have some fun with that.
You are the quiz
Kinda
guy.
cool to see those, huh?
That you are the quiz guy. That's
Yeah,
how
put
I
them on
met
the
you.
spot.
You were doing like a quiz when I met you.
Yeah, I mean, you know, the Willie will be easy. I mean, you have Horton, you could do McCovey.
Covey.
Yeah,
Randolph, right?
yeah,
Will
Randolph. There's a lot. So there's McGee as Ruben's stating.
Yep.
Willie
Mays Hayes, Willie Hernandez,
Yeah, for sure.
Mickey Cochran. I mean, there's tons. You know.
Right.
Yeah, Mickey.
So, anyway, someone say Sammy Thunder trivia. It's been a while. Yeah, it's a lot of work, man. It's really a lot of work to do that. But I'll get around to doing it again. We should try that.
We can do it.
All right, so let's okay. Let's see what I got here. Let's go with. I'll go with these 4 items. The first one is not someone who creates content, but somebody who kind of lurks. Who I don't think he comments. If he does, it's very, very rare. but he is well known to both myself and to Dom from Statement Sports Cards. That is Tom from Milford, as I call him, Tom from Milford. He's given me a lot of stuff that he has to clear out of his house, because I'm just imagining piles and piles and piles of cards in clothing drawers. It just it's becoming an issue, and so I think he passes some of the stuff on to me at this point. But he gave me this really cool, there was a 1970 Super Tom Seaver, and I believe this is a short print. So this is pretty cool that he gave this to me.
Cool, man.
That's a great pose.
What's that?
That's a great pose.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
The Supers have phenomenal images. They really do. Underrated. I love them.
We were talking.
cheap.
Yeah. I'm sorry. We were talking about Scott Reindeer Studios before, and Eric, he gave you that card. He also gave me a Christmas card as well. Actually, I'll bring both of them. Hang on a second. Take a second. I keep all the cards. So he also, issued me the reindeer and a personalized note as well. But the year before, got the Mossy Claus card with a personalized note. I was fortunate to win one of his giveaways, and I was able to win the Dennis Eckersley rookie that he had. So I've kept this. I've had this for quite a while. It's a good-looking 5.
Yeah, it is. It's clean.
Yeah, I watched the documentary on Dennis Eckersley. He's got it's just an amazing career. He was a great starter. He was a great starting pitcher for a while.
What did he go in as? Did he go in as an Oakland A in the Hall?
I would say so. I would think so. Yeah.
Okay. I wasn't certain. He was with the Cubs for a while too.
Mm-hmm. This reminds me of Vintage Sanctuary, because I was at the what was it? The Atlantic City National, and he bought the PSA Authentic 52 Mays and reslapped it, and it came back at 2.5.
Wow.
So whenever I look at this card, I just think about the 52 Mays. I think about his amazing transformation of getting an Authentic to a 2.5 in SGC. So that's pretty cool. And finally, since Dom is here, this is my most recent Mays return. This is the 1958 San Francisco Call Bulletin. And the reason why I think of Dom is because I had the Orlando Cepeda from this same set that I got at Strongsville. And because I found the Willie Mays, I sold the Cepeda to him. I guess, Dom told me that he had it on his list for quite a while. And so I was like, well, I got the one I really, really wanted, which is the Mays. And so I was like, yeah, let's make a deal, and I'll sell you over the Cepeda that I have. And so
that's awesome.
We both have cards from this set now.
That is very cool.
Yeah, but that's my round.
All right, I'll go into. I guess these 4 will consist of people. We're talking about the relationships that are built, and these 4 I've actually have become friends with, and some close friends. So the first card I'm going to show, I actually bought it off a gentleman who does not make content, much like you were saying, Sammy. We were at Strongsville and at the meet and greet, and he came up to me when I probably had about 100 subscribers. I thought they were all family and friends. And he said, I actually watched your channel and I follow you. It's the first time that it ever happened to me. And I said, really? So I struck up a conversation with him for about an hour. His name is Joe. Well, Joe, I've been pushing him. He needs to make content because he's got incredible stuff. He is lifelong friends since they were kids with Aaron, Value Vintage Cards. So I got to meet the both of them at Strongsville, and now consider them both really good friends. Actually, Joe and I have been trying to get to a show together for a while. And Aaron and I have talked about doing some videos together and all that stuff. But Aaron's been on this show as well. And just 2 great guys with incredible, if you watch Aaron, you know how incredible his collection is. And I think Joe's is right there with him. Joe's got some amazing stuff. And he was selling a bunch of stuff at this national and at Strongsville. And I actually bought this off of him at Strongsville when I first met him. So it's my 55 Bowman Campy in a 4.5. And it's absolutely beautiful card. So I think of both of them when I see that. The first card, or the first person I ever met, the first YouTuber I ever met, beyond when I should say, no, I was actually prior to meeting you, Sammy, was Mitchell at White Sox Card and Fan Collector. So I won his, he had a contest going. And when I met you, Sammy, at Strong's, or I'm sorry, at the National, when I met you in Orlando and a few others, Al, he presented me with my prize, which is my 62 Jim Cott autographed card. So awesome card. So I always think of Mitchell and talk to him quite a bit, actually. And then this one I'll show. I don't really like the guy very much. I love Don Mossy. The guy who likes Don Mossy, I don't like him much, but we all know who that is. So I don't want to give him too much props because he is Scott. But in all honesty, love him. Incredible artist, great guy. I kind of ditched out on him on the National shopping for Mossy with Puppet Mossy. So I ran out of money. So I owe him a trip with Puppet Mossy at next year's National in Strongsville. But I bought this to redeem myself a little bit. And then lastly, someone who I met at Strongsville. We live by each other. We've been to several shows together. We collect alike. We have a lot of parallels with family. Is Steve, Vintage on Vintage. And the last show we were at, he gifted me with this.
Man, oh man.
So,
racking it in with the Jordans.
Yeah, I'm going to put up, when this card room's done, I'm going to put up a display case of just the Jordans, and obviously all the ones that I were gifted will go in there. But awesome guy. Him and I collect very similarly, and we just have a ton in common. Done lunch a couple times, and we've actually had him on this show as well, Sammy. We've had Steve on as well. So just the bonuses to the community, meeting friends, man. It's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Can't go wrong, man. Can't go wrong.
No,
and that's actually like the Jordan cards, believe it or not.
What's that?
That Skybox is actually
awesome.
one of the favorite Jordan cards.
Yeah. Some of his best cards are his cheapest cards.
Yeah.
That were mass produced.
On the back of that Skybox, isn't he golfing with a cigar in his mouth, or is
actually,
Right.
he doesn't have a cigar in his mouth.
Oh, no cigar. Okay, hold on. Let me. It's him golfing.
Yeah.
I'm sure that was contracted in there.
Yeah, but an awesome set. There is a promo card of that particular card that commands a little more money. It's not terribly expensive, but they did run a promo on that and that particular card and a few others. So I got to get my Andrew basketball in here, so I'm showing some Jordan for Andrew.
I'm gonna get one prepped for him. Warren, hot seat, man.
I have two more cards that I want to show, because if I don't get the bed soon, I'm going to turn into a pumpkin. So
yeah, you do your thing.
I'm already thinking. Anyway, no, it's just, guys, this is an absolute blast, and we're talking friendships and cards and having drinks and all that. It's just a great time. But
good times.
Two things I want to show, because I love this card. It's gorgeous. I bought it this year at Strongsville from Don Field of Dreams.
Oh yeah.
And just a gorgeous 55 Neuhauser.
Oh yeah.
Just unbelievable. I get goosebumps looking at it. But Don was selling a bunch of cards at Strongsville. He needed some cash flow, and so I go, Don, hey, what do you want for this? He goes, $125, but I'll work with you, Warren. I said, no, Don, I don't need you to work with me. I want to buy the card. I want to help you out and all this. I said, but let me run to the bank. He goes, you don't need to run to the bank. He goes, well, just hold the card till tomorrow. And he goes, no, Warren, take it with you. He goes, I somehow think that you're good for it, and I'll see you tomorrow. Who doesn't?
He did that with me as well. I bought the K line from him. Yeah, I mean that's trust, man.
I was like, when I saw first thing in the morning, I'd be like to him, I'm like, here's your money. He goes, Warren, you didn't have to rush, man. I knew you were good for it. I just had a feeling. And I said, I greatly appreciate that, and it means a lot to me, so I will always think of that. on one of my videos recently, and because I forgot about the set that it even existed. But Ben over at Blix Cards, Blix, I'm sure most of you guys have probably seen it.
Great guy.
He emailed me. He goes, "Hey, Warren, I got you something." He goes, "When I saw it, I had to get it because he." But it's this 1988 Topps Keith Comstock, and yeah, some of you guys already know. Whatever it is about me and Keith Comstock, I have no idea, but it's the test/experimental issue. And what I forgot to mention in that video is that you were supposed to soak these in water. And so a lot of them got scrapped because they wouldn't soak up the water. And then they're supposed to puff up, and then you dry them, and then they're good to go, whatever it is. But I will, so it started a new friendship with me and Ben. So whenever I see this, now it starts me on a whole damn rabbit hole of, now I got to get more. So, guys, that's what I got for you. This is an absolute blast. I'm going to stay on for a few more minutes and catch up. We have to bow out here real soon.
We're going to be finishing around 10 o'clock, I think, is what we're going to do. So that's what we're going to aim for.
Yeah.
Oh, gotcha.
Cool, man.
All right.
Awesome. Thank you, guys.
Yeah.
Thank you, Warren.
All right, so since we're showing Jordan cards, this is from my my childhood collection. I still have my childhood collection actually, and this is my only Jordan card, and it's not in the best condition, but I still had it for forever. It's 96.
I got about 3 of those. You need another one? I can get you another one. I got 3 or 4 of those.
You mean this isn't worth like $1 million?
Tell me you're a Jordan collector. I'll ship a bunch your way.
Jordan always killed us. I love Jordan. He's the GOAT, but he always killed us. Jordan and the Bulls were like that was the one game I had to watch every time the Pistons played them.
Yes.
Because back then we had Grant Hill and Stackhouse, and like Jordan would just like he's a different breed, and he would just take us out every time. So
I was gonna say you
love hate.
Are you a little too young for the Bad Boys? Do you remember the Bad Boys?
So Bad Boys were 90 and 89. So I was born in 88, but I know the Bad Boys, and I know I just met Bill Lambier a few months ago.
Oh, don't say that name around me. He's the one.
Only.
He's the one.
So who's the guy like now that everyone just hates in the NBA?
The guy from Draymond Green.
Draymond Green, yeah. So like Bill Lambier was the Draymond Green before Draymond Green.
He was worse than Draymond Green.
Yeah.
I call Draymond Green is like Rodman to me.
Yeah.
But Bill Lambier was a special kind of hate for me. But
he's like I don't know. Maybe it's just as he got older, he's the nicest guy. Like he was just the nicest guy, like smiling and talking to everyone. And
really interesting story. His father was extremely wealthy. So,
really?
So he was wealthy coming into the NBA, like wealthy, like big dollars. So, he was came from like a privileged community, a privileged society, and then you see the guy playing. He's playing like an absolute thug. It's like you're right. It's just like it was like polar opposite of what you think he would be. But you know what? If it wasn't for them, Michael wouldn't have got 6. That's how I look at it. So they get a little bit of credit.
All right. So, I had to show my Jordan. I want to shout out 2 other channels that inspire me. One is Frank, Baseball Hall of Fame collector. He lives like probably like 15, 20 minutes from me. And he's invited me over to his house, and I haven't been over to his, museum of autographs yet, but I gotta go because he just has like one of the most incredible collection of autographs I've ever seen. But he has a channel here on YouTube, and for me, because I collect autographs, it's like a must watch every single time because he just does such a big deep dive into each autograph. He's looking at each little like stroke and like every little mark, and like giving you like examples from autographs, you know, when they were younger to when they like if they got older, and like if they had like health issues or something, like what to look out for authentic autographs and everything. And it's just such a wealth of knowledge if you're into autographs. So you know, I always watch his videos because I do love collecting autographs. So I do got 2 autographs that make me think of him. I got a Charlie Gehringer.
Oh wow.
I got this when I was, you know, very young, like in the 90s, late 90s. Because he was a good signer also. So I got that, and then I got like a Hank Greenberg.
Wow. The big boy autos. Those are
I gotta
awesome.
show my Detroit guys.
Yeah, those are awesome.
That's stellar.
Yeah.
And then I want to shout out another channel that like always inspires me. He's like just an incredible collection, and everyone knows Rick from Vintage Oddball Cards. Just the stuff he has is like there he is.
Talking about Cliff from Missouri.
So yeah, but he also like collects Type 1 photos, and aside from like collecting sports cards, like a big hobby, my second biggest hobby is like photography. I love photography. I love black and white photos. I love taking photos and everything. So I'm like really big into photography and everything. So whenever he shows like a Type 1 photo, like I start drooling because like I love it. So I got a Type 1 photo here that makes me think of him. It's a Mickey Cochran.
Look at that. That's a
That
great
is
looking photo.
awesome.
Jesus.
That is
Yeah,
awesome.
it's like punched up and everything, and right up into his face, and it's got all the writing you look for in the back.
Oh my
That's
goodness.
phenomenal.
What
So
does the back show? I see something. There's like something on the. Oh, that's cool.
yeah, so usually with Type 1 photos, they have like they'll paste stuff on the back that kind of shows it's like a Type 1. They'll show the years or whatever. We got a stamp here that says October 1934. So if you're ever like collecting like a Type 1 photo from like you know, prior to like 1950 or something, try to see if they have stuff on the back, because that would be a good indicator it's a Type 1.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That is incredible, Eric. That's a nice piece.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
Boy, I feel like when it's my turn, I'm gonna step up with some junk next to that stuff. Jeez.
Well,
Coming in.
I will finish off my portion of things. This is a card I'm selling, but I threw it in there for Andrew because basketball. It's my 1969 Topps Will Chamberlain card for $100. That's what I'm selling it for. It got authentic because there was a factory miscut. It's kind of hard to tell because it's on camera, but there's kind of an arch to.
Yeah.
I can't really show it. It's like right here. I think it's hard to tell. Probably tell from the back a little bit better. But
Oh yeah. See
yeah,
it
you
on
can see it.
So even as an authentic, that's only $100, Sammy? Really?
That's what they're general. I mean, last I checked, that's what they're going for.
Okay.
I think a Mookie for this one, the Venezuelan Seaver,
Yeah.
68. Think of this one because he was there at the time, and he offered to Mookie. Yeah, speaking of the devil, he offered to give me like $30 of like buying of cards at my table. I was trying to buy this for like $25 less than the dealer wanted, but he ultimately just didn't want to budge. And so Mookie was there for when I bought this, and he goes, he's like, yeah, just buy it. I'll spend $25 worth of stuff at your table. I'm like, okay, that works for me. So there's that. I see that Ben is in here from Blix Cards, as he says. This was a really generous gift that Ben sent me. It's the 1969 Globe Imports Tom Seaver 8 of Diamonds, which is really a generous thing for him to do to send this to me. So thank you, Ben. Also, thank you for being here tonight as well, for hanging out with us. The fun thing about this set, the Globe Imports, is that there's two variations. You can get this which has like the paper stock back, or you can get the one with the it's like a checkerboard back, and those are really tough, really tough. Two more cards. Couldn't go without showing this. Jake's not here, but Jake Legends Never Die sold me this card raw, and I graded it to his absolute disgust. But I've had this card for a while, and I bought this before I knew that Jake had a channel. So it's kind of funny. There's a great story to it. I've mentioned it multiple times, so I won't break into it now. But I bought this from him, and it was I've had it since. Sorry, it's not focusing.
It was a Facebook purchase, right, Sammy?
Yeah,
Facebook?
it was. It was through Facebook. And lastly, had to show this.
Yes.
The Leaf premiums. With this was the trade from, I think, the first trade night with 4 collectors, and this was with Orlando at the very literally the midnight hour, going into midnight. I traded him my Koufax rookie plus a cash kicker for this.
That's a beauty.
That's gorgeous.
If I ever want the Koufax rookie again, I could probably find it. This maybe not as easily found. So
correct.
So Orlando has one, and so why is everybody trying to? Mookie's causing trouble, man. Call the auction. There's no auction. You guys are bidding on stuff that's not even in. And sorry, Rick, this one's not for sale, man. So.
Gotta love the chat, man. Gotta love the chat.
Oh man, this is a phenomenal community.
I'll go ahead and rapid fire a little bit since Mookie's on there. I figured I'd grab the one card that reminds me the most of Mookie, and that's my 39 play ball Bill Dickey. Bought it at one of the sports spectaculars. Had it graded, got a 1.5. I said, how in God's name is that a 1.5?
Yeah.
And then I actually posted it on Facebook, and I said, anybody tell me why? And there's a pinhole. And so you can see the pinhole right by his arm. And there's the pinhole. But once I had it graded, I'm like, that looks just phenomenal in the SGC holder. I'm never getting rid of this. I love this card. So that's my Mookie pinhole. This card reminds me of Dave, Peacemaker Cards, and my good friend Mr. Missouri, because he can't keep his fly up. So this is the Mr. Missouri, can't keep his fly out and likes to show his junk to everybody. So that's my Chris from Missouri card. And then my favorite card of all time that reminds me of Chris from Missouri and Billy Ballgame, and he's obviously not on, this is my David McCormick Pink Refractor. This is the year that Kansas Rock Chalk Jayhawks won the national title. So I know they love Kansas, so I want to give them a shout out to my boys in Kansas. I shouldn't say they're not in Kansas, they're in Missouri, but their disdain for the Jayhawks is deep, so I love showing them Jayhawks cards. So yeah, that covers it. I got more, but I know we're keeping it short. Do you have something else, Warren, before you head out, or?
No, man. Hey, I can't thank you guys enough for having me on. All you guys are awesome. I'm happy to know all of you now. And Eric, we're each other. I met Sammy a couple times, and Jason, But Sammy, I will be reaching out to you if that's okay with you. And I got some stuff I'll send you. And Eric, I already told you you're getting it. Do you like it or not? And Jason, you got
Jesus. You're the best. Thank you, my friend.
Had a blast, guys. I really enjoyed it. Anytime, reach out. You want to BS? Send me text. Talk about life or have a beer on FaceTime. Who cares, man? Let's just do it.
That's it. That'll work for me, my friend. We'll talk to you soon.
All right. Well, thank you guys, everybody, for coming on tonight. Thank you, everybody in the chat. We'll be back again next Thursday as well. We don't know who the guest will be yet, but we'll work it out. So thank you, everybody. Hope you guys have a good start to your weekend. We'll see you soon. Take care.
Peace out, guys.